fly with me, Jerry?
Maybe I will, Lois. Maybe I
will. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
There's a new Marvel out that's supposed to be nuts. We should go see that.
Welcome to the Fandom Outpost, your podcast for all things pop culture.
Welcome, everybody, to the Fandom Outpost. We got another action-packed episode for you. As always, I'm one-third your host. My name is Mark.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Bob. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Before we get started, quick note, please like and subscribe to our video. We'd really appreciate it. And with that, we're going to move on to our little mini summer movie catch-up, I guess, right, guys?
Yeah.
What are those movies? What are we catching up on?
Mainly the superhero movies that came out in July, right?
Yeah.
So it was the big ones that we all were kind of waiting for. And I know you guys are pretty deeply into the comic stuff in the past, and you know a lot more than I do. So I'm going to kind of tag along with you guys as far as some of the deeper stuff, but I'm just kind of thinking about how they worked as movies,
right?
You know,
I think
coming out. So
that's
I
a good
think
perspective for you to have.
Right.
Know?
Yeah, and I'm more of a normie, as we always joke.
That word kills me every time you say it. Normie.
But
it sounds like it's
I do enjoy the
Guy.
MCU movies. You know, I'm more of a Marvel guy. I've always liked the MCU movies, and I do like the Batman movies.
And folks, if are obviously talking about James Gunn's launch of his Superman, and then the latest MCU movie, which would be Fantastic Four.
Right.
So, where do you guys want to start?
We'll start with Superman, right? Because Jim's got the hat, so let's start from there. I mean, what did you guys think? I mean, I actually, Mark, you were in the theater.
Yeah, dude, what a fluke.
That was a sneak attack.
That was a fluke.
He just happened to show up from out of state with his daughter. And
we were hanging out all day, and she was like, why don't you go see that Superman with me? I was like, I don't know if I got time. And she was like, come on, it's only this. And that was funny. So ended up in the same theater that Bob was in, Bob and his wife. And, you know,
we stayed through the end credits and all that. And then you're like texting me, you're like, you're staying for those end credits, aren't you?
And that's when he got up and
I'm like, wait
around.
a minute.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. Lord, I couldn't wait for your acknowledgement, though. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So that's why I shot out of there really quick. Like, I'll catch him in the lobby and stuff. So, anybody want to start with Superman? Because I got some strong thoughts.
I just a general feel when and I know we're going to get to Fantastic Four, but the general feel I got was the audience seemed to be a little more into Superman for some reason. For the crowds I was in, and we both had, the full crowd on Superman, and then I had a full crowd of Fantastic Four, and I didn't feel the same energy in Fantastic Four as I did Superman. So I don't know. We'll get to that later.
That's interesting.
I had a lot of energy watching this movie. It was kind of, I know it's kind of all over the place. And I was with my wife, Kendall, and I knew she was going to love that dog. I knew going in. She didn't think so. She was like, I don't know. The trailer, it looks kind of silly, But I'm with her, and we both love Crypto. And
the dog steals the show, so he really does,
stole the show, I thought. And
and I do,
and I liked the David Cornsweet too. I thought he was I really liked him as in that role. I did not expect him to be that good in it. And I was really surprised and happy.
Wow.
So
Jim,
actually, on my watch, I was entering the theater and ran into Robbie.
Wow.
From
wow, that's great. Everybody's running into each other.
Sidecast.
That's great.
I ran into Robbie and Dave Worrell.
Yeah.
So our friend Dave, and Robbie from our, like we said, our We Have Issues podcast. So we're gonna do a separate pod with Mark and Robbie, and we're going to talk. Just
got to get it. We got to get a shot of Dave's man cave, a really good one, because I
haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, I think last year, the year before, I was talking to him about it, and I was showing pictures of my stuff. He's showing me. I'm just like,
he's got those high end.
Yes, I'm blown away. Yeah, he's like all that
he's
stuff.
He's a Hot Toys collector.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, dude. So anyway,
anyways,
So did it live up to much, Jim, or how did
I
how
went
did
with
you
my-
come out of that?
Went with my daughter Sarah. I was really psyched up. Leading up to it, they were doing a nice job of hyping it, and I think it is it's really packed full of stuff. It is bright, it is colorful, it is optimistic, which planet Earth seems to need at this particular
This is
point
the
in
age of
time.
optimism in movies, it seems, this month.
Between they all had good messages. So but yeah, our audience really liked it. I saw kids in the audience, which is good to see, because without kids these heroes don't go on after we're long gone. Someone's got to bring it. Corn Sweat I thought was very, very well cast. He was bringing a very Brendan Fraser energy to his portrayal. Like the cast all the way through. Uh-oh.
No, that
That was
I don't know if we're doing spoilers or not. We usually don't care about spoilers on here.
Yeah, we'll be doing spoilers because it's
When
he-
we've waited a
when
couple
he-
weeks.
We haven't ruined anything yet.
Well, when
but we're going to.
when
though.
Ultraman reveals himself, damn if that didn't look like Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, dude, with the hair and stuff. I was getting way Brendan Fraser vibes on that guy. So I was like, holy cow. So
I
anyway,
thought it wore its heart very much on its sleeve.
Right.
It wasn't ashamed to be a comic book movie.
I'll give you
In
that.
the end, it felt more like a DC Universe movie than a particular Superman movie.
It started to go that way, didn't it?
It did. I wish there was a little more when we have, and we're always going to refer back to Christopher Reeve, baby, because that's who we grew up with. But that kind of like Superman really rallying and, showing up to kick everybody's butt, or, he did to a degree. I didn't mind him being not the strongest guy in the room, because a ridiculously strong Superman is really boring to me.
Right.
If the guy can turn around and wipe everybody out, then it's like, why am I watching this? He'll handle everything. All the side characters were good.
They were great, I thought. Yeah.
They
added a lot to it, I thought.
I liked the interaction with Lois Lane. I wish there was a little more of that, but she certainly wasn't a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
And Crypto was great. So I like that it leaned into the comic bookness of Superman and gave us some things that, we had Superman robots, which are comic accurate in existence. And it took a chance and switched a few things up. So, but Mark, what did you think?
Well,
Now we only got a certain amount of time.
I will sum it up then. I'm not 100% because I got to see where everything's going. That's why.
Sure.
And I'm going to piggyback what Jim said. I would have liked to see a Superman movie. And I think that because we know so much about relaunching the DCU, James Gunn feels obligated to put all these other things in it, and I didn't agree with all that. It was entertaining. The side characters were entertaining. The girl, the engineer with the nano,
Right.
He trounced her, but her weaponry was very dangerous kind of for him. So I like that, where again, Superman doesn't have to be the strongest thing in there, but he had to be strong enough that we had to see his powers and everything that fans would want. The breakout character and standalone in that thing has got to be Mr. Terrific, though.
Oh, absolutely.
That guy was
he
fantastic.
Really stepped
The
up.
character of Michael Holt. He's a modern Mr. Terrific, not JSA Mr. Terrific. And he's exactly comic accurate. He's the smartest man in the room next to Batman. And I love it that he was able to
But they handled
do
it.
stuff. Yeah.
They handled it really well, right?
I think
like
so.
The way he comes across.
And the only reason why I think the Justice Gang, I think the only reason why they're in it is because Superman can't be everywhere at once, and they proved that. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
and it was very emotional. The kid lifting up the sign is very emotional.
Yeah.
Everybody's running, and then Guy Gardner with his smart ass remark was textbook. But I'm glad that it was them You know what I mean? That those guys
Right.
came in, and, because he can't be everywhere, and he's
Or he
you know,
doesn't have to do everything.
everything.
There was a scene where they were fighting, an interdimensional space imp or
I
something,
thought that people laughed at
and
that.
it was going on in the background, and it was
It was
actually
clever.
it was actually one of those original shots they used showing kind of Superman putting his boots on while this battle was going on. It was one of the promo shots that they, and then
Yeah.
You
she's
saw
like,
like the big
"Shouldn't-"
hammer, the big
yeah.
green hammer.
And he's like, shouldn't you be
he's
helping?
like hitting the thing in the sky.
Yeah,
It's like, shouldn't you be helping them? And he's like, no, they
they
got
got
this. This
and
is the show."
Easter egg too. That's Mr. McPidlick or whatever inside that. So that was a deep cut. But as soon as you said, "Oh, it's some space imp or whatever," which I thought was awesome, But I agree with Jim. I love the character of Lois Lane. I think this Lois Lane was really smart. She wasn't as in trouble, so they left all that behind. The days of her getting rescued all the time. You didn't
So
see.
we changed the dynamic there.
Yeah, but she is still the spunky go getter. I'm going to solve this and figure it out. And I liked Jimmy Olsen that he's just not the sidekick photographer. He actually,
It was a different
yeah,
take.
he has
wasn't
something
it,
to
on
do.
him?
So I guess overall, I liked it, but I'm going to need more. I need to see where it's going. I'm not as sold as the American public seems to be yet. So I to say I didn't like it is no, that's not correct. But there's things that I loved about it and things that I was like, I don't know. And there's a couple things that I absolutely did not like about it. I did not like the choice of his parents. I felt that they were too country bumpkin.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the only thing that I could connect with that is that it seems like they raised, forgive me, folks, they raised a softer Superman. The Superman in the movie really fits with those parents, and of course you get your Jonathan speech, but he's a little bit softer. He's more in touch with everything. And, I'm more human and stuff. So I get the direction they were going, but I didn't get the imposing father figure that the past iterations could, that they all looked up to or whatever. They seemed a little bit more, I go get your boots, son. They're a little bit more country bumpkin. So
a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little off.
But overall, I
too.
think for a first time out, yeah, I think it's good. It's good for what it is. There you go.
How do we feel
There it
about
is.
Lex Luthor?
Well, he's one of the things that I'm split on because he's Nicholas Holt. I'm sorry, buddy. He is such a pretty boy. Like, he's so pretty. You know what I mean? Even
Well, he auditioned for Superman.
I know. Even when he gets beat up, he's still pretty.
Yeah.
And unless they're going to make him more ruthless and he's going to grow, him crying and his defeat, Lex is always kind of like, I take defeat with a grain of salt because I'm going to come back stronger.
Right. He was like the evil hedge fund guy. Or
That's
something.
just weird.
He was
His bald ass to Belle Reeve. Come on, man. You don't
He
need
felt
that.
very, very kind of one note.
Yeah.
Like he was just angry all the time.
Well, he's like this computer
I didn't
geek.
s-
Like,
Right. Well, but he's not like our. Thankfully, he's not the like Jesse Eisenberg.
oh my, let's not mention him. We just,
Okay, we won't.
you know,
Which is just be Mark Zuckerberg.
oh my God.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I guess it was a modern approach.
And I do love, don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess the Superman for me, sorry, folks, controversial. I love Henry Cavill. I thought he made a great Superman. Yeah, I guess it's dark. He's trying to find his way, but I liked him as Superman. I really, really did. So let's hope my final thoughts is going to be this. Let's hope the rumors are true and James Gunn offers Henry Cavill the role of Batman. So that would be phenomenal. But I also think that there weren't too many distractions in the movie and that worked for it. You know what I mean? Although Guy Gardner's face, God, like his hair and his face, just
he was a good.
Yeah, if we don't get
that.
the Batman one punch scene, my God, because I wanted to punch him through the screen.
Accurate,
yeah,
right. He was very comic accurate, which you didn't, and he will appear again in the Lanterns.
Yeah,
program.
Yeah, we can't talk about that yet because, like, I don't know why everybody.
That's right on Mark's.
Well,
alley.
I just don't know why everybody wants to do a disjustice to Hal Jordan. Like, everybody just lays off Hal Jordan. They want to do all these other ones and give him so much depth.
Right.
And if Lanterns doesn't do Hal Jordan right, it's going to be a flop. Like, people will revolt, because like he's the first. Like, and there's nothing out there with him except that piece of shit Ryan Reynolds movie. So and maybe that's why they're staying away from it.
Yeah, well, He's not the main character of Lantern. It's John Stewart.
For those of you out there, Green Lantern is one of Mark's, if not the favorite character.
Yeah, that's my favorite character. So I can't. Him and an obscure Avenger named Wonder Man that will be making his debut later in the year. But
come Christmas time,
we'll see.
So
yeah, Green Lantern is it, dude. I wish I was showcasing more back here behind me, but yeah, that's
when you guys see movies like this, the comic movies. How much of your comic background goes into your perception of the movie? I mean, do you carry a lot of baggage in with you, or do you try to leave it at the usher stand and just take it in?
I've been able to once, I've got over the Marvel was gonna. Once they introduced alternate universe where everything could be anything, that made all the Marvel stuff super easy for me. I'm like, oh, cool. This isn't how I read it. That's because it's in a different branch of the universe. It's in a different world. Superman, I want something to stick really bad for DC so we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel every 10 years, right? So, and this is a very James Gunn movie. It's very
yes, it is.
If you like Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll love this.
Yeah.
He's Mr. I'm gonna drop songs here and there all throughout. I'm gonna pepper it. I mean, the very cool Mr. Terrific scene that everybody likes. There's a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy where Yondu's doing the same thing.
That's what Stefan said. Yeah, Stefan pointed that out. He was like, because he saw it for the first time with me, and he was like, "That's like Yondu." I was like, "Yeah, it's got that vibe to it and stuff." But hey, if it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it.
Nope.
Yeah, Gunn has those splash screens that are just like the S that comes across the screen, or the Guardians when they're all I mean, he has those really comic visual.
I did like the comic nods to the original 70s films that were, we incorporated the John Williams score, and then we even in the credits, we were doing that kind of similar to the Donald films.
I'm the same way. I got to agree with Jim. So once I got over my first couple Marvel movies, then I left all my baggage at the usher stand. So I don't bring it anymore. It helps that I have the knowledge that I might be pleased as a fan to notice something and go, oh, that was cute. The sign that says Gotham City this way. Just
because otherwise I'm going to gatekeep things, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
If I'm
I was having a hard time with Ultron. Like I was really gatekeeping Ultron and all that stuff. But
yeah, he was a big deal for us. So
yeah, that
took you time to get over that.
But I went into it trying to have an open mind, and I was pleased. I did. I appreciated it. I'm like, I understand why Hank Pym couldn't create it. Like, I get it. It's the way they went. And it makes sense what they did with that movie. So I can leave it all at the usher stand.
So now at the end of Superman, though, we get a peek into our next character that's going to be showing up for DC.
I mean, Supergirl?
Form of Supergirl, yeah.
I could have done without that. But
I'm glad it was part of the movie. It wasn't even an extra credit scene. So good for them to have that in there.
Good.
Because I think it was nice to kind of understand why the dog is the way the dog is. Like, that's how you sum it up. And he explains about her going to this and do it. And correct me if I'm wrong. Does she call Superman a bitch? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, away. Yeah. So we are definitely, I don't know who the director is going to be, but we're going to get a very different superhero movie. I can guarantee you that. So
right, and she's as we're talking about things that are comic accurate or not comic accurate, Crypto is not her dog. She has a cat.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that they gave it
Streaky,
to her.
the super cat, but
yeah,
I don't.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jason Momoa is playing Lobo in her movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So
which would be perfect.
Yeah,
he was born to play Lobo.
Yeah, he was.
So.
Yeah. So.
One of the controversial parts of the movie, I guess, is the missing message from Jor-El, parents.
So we got a different take on his birth parents as well. So
what do you guys think of that? It seemed like, I don't know if I like that or not. That you must breed and take over the earth. Or whatever.
I mean, it makes sense because they had to give him that kind of moment of doubt, and his dad's got to lift him up. I mean, what else are you going to do? I don't think they could have, unless they would have just kept the Luthor thing. So to give him that's what Luthor outs him with. I mean, it makes sense.
Too.
Yeah. And it makes sense that people like Guy Gardner are like, do I think, like, there's a good line in that movie that Guy Gardner says, he's like, do I think he's really here to blah, blah, take over the earth? Probably not. You know, like he knows that he's not, that he's probably a
Right.
hero, but
Right.
you can't deny the fact that that is out there, that that's what it is. So it's going to give everybody pause. You know what I mean? But
You
Right.
know,
come on.
I enjoyed the fact when Lois is talking to the Justice Gang, like, they're like, oh, you mean Clark? Yeah. And she's like, what? He tells everybody his secret identity, and they're like, yeah, well, I trust too many people.
Well-
No, he's got hypno glasses, and that's like it's a comic book thing, you know.
I like that they were actually at headquarters, you know, and it's there's been stuff
Right,
online
they
where
had a
people have
headquarters.
paused it, but you can't see it. But up on the left, the big mural is the Justice Society, and you know you could clearly see a lot of the who came before
Yeah.
that should exist. So
Right. So let's go back and talk about how this movie opens. And it opens with, you know, it's metahumans or superhumans or whatever we're calling them in this one have been on the earth for some time. You know,
yeah,
Superman's
300
been
years
around
it said. I thought
right. And Superman's only been around for,
30.
you know, 30.
Yeah, 30
right?
years,
And,
so.
and he's only been, you know, active for a few after that. I like the fact that, you know, his city knows who he is. Him saving a squirrel is something Superman would do. You know,
What's a Gunn thing? He's really a pro animal director, right?
Right.
Like he has a lot of, you know, compassion for animals.
you
Seems
know,
to
and
be a theme.
and the Justice Gang, it's like, I don't know, Hawk Girl didn't have a problem dropping that guy to his death. It's like, oopsie, you know,
Yeah,
it's like you're a bad guy, sorry. So,
it was a little yeah. There was some language in there. So I was like, I don't know if little kids should see this, but you know,
I read online some people were like, we don't want to see our Superman that sexy.
oh, Jesus.
You know, because he was really giving it to, well, that's a bad term, but like they were really, you know, mooching it up at the end, which
Right.
I'm fine with. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still like why you set Superman above those standards. The guy still feels the same things that we feel, you know.
Right.
And
well, I guess he really bulked up, and he didn't even get a chance to really show it off. He wasn't really
right, because he's
he was in the suit the whole time.
I'm 100% on board with that suit. I'm glad we
Yeah.
have red trunks again because that character needs it. So I'm glad he fought for that character to have red trunks. So it's, you know, his comment was that Superman would wear them because it's a little silly, so to put people at ease. Otherwise, it just looks like a military uniform. So
Well,
didn't mind that.
there's a few notes that I had about Superman's the outsider. The whole thing's wanting to feel accepted. You know, there's a little bit of that theme. Well, a lot of that theme, I believe, in what this movie's trying to
How
say
about
for Superman, right?
Lex Luthor straight up shooting a guy in the head?
Yeah, that was a rough one.
That was it's like, oh, we're gonna go there. That's not, you know, great. And we've made a point that, you know, they made a point early on when that guy had an interaction with Superman and Superman called him by his name. Lex was like, find out who that person is right now.
yeah,
And they found out who he was, and they, you know, sent him to space prison or space dimensional jail. And then the new Miss Tessmacher was having all those. She was kind of safeguarding her ass by having all that information in the background.
that is hands down. That's
pretty
one of the
smart.
best things I like about the movie. Like she is
That was
such
pretty
a
smart.
ditz, but she's
Right.
really not.
Like Jimmy was calling her what, like shrimp cocktail toes or something.
Yeah, and he was like, whatever and stuff.
It's like
So
the
you're
toast
like, but
thing.
the fact that she did that, like, I hate to say this, folks, but like, she's the real hero of the movie, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, without her,
we don't-
none of that happens. So
Yeah, we don't get to that other dimension.
yeah, there you
So,
go.
Pocket universe.
Any
All right,
other
so-
thoughts on Superman?
Jim
I
had
think
quite
we're
a few. Holy cow, he had a lot to say about that.
I think we're in good hands. Moving forward, it had a big job to do.
Well, Clayface is coming next, I think. Isn't it?
And, yeah, and that's a horror movie.
Clayface is a Batman villain, though, so I don't know how they're going to work
Right.
that into there.
Well, we don't, you know, we'll be like Sony and we'll just make movies about characters that don't have to have the hero in it.
Yeah, I guess.
Spider-Man's not in any Venom movies currently, so
There's a lot of weird stuff out there, but we'll
there's
see.
weird stuff going on. So
I liked it. I gave it 3.5 crates. Our
Out of
crate
5?
system there out of 5. Out of 5, I gave it 3.5.
Wow.
I enjoyed it
I
enough.
thought you enjoyed it more than that.
I'd give it a 4 for me. It does what I want it to do.
Yeah,
It'll be
I'm sitting pretty at a 3.
I was pleased with it. I'd recommend it, and it's
Absolutely.
a lot of fun. It was a lot of for a summer movie. It was a lot of fun.
You know what I would like to see in some Superman movies, because we haven't had it in a while, like the Superman changing his costume scene. Those were like one of the best parts of the Christopher Reeve movie, when he would
Right.
Yeah,
pull open his shirt. Or how about Superman not leaving every place he leaves like he's a atomic missile?
yeah.
What happened to the guy that just kind of floats down and kind of just glides up and everything?
Glides in
He
to
leaves
action.
a crater everywhere he goes. He's done that through Man of Steel and the Justice League movies, and that's just a personal pick. But
So Jim? You're 4. What do you mark?
I'm
What are you
about a
at?
3. But you said exactly
3?
what I wanted to say. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. I do recommend it.
For a summer movie. Would you own it
No,
or just stream
no,
it?
I'd stream that. So I'm not going to own Superman.
And it's interesting. One of the benefits that we have with Mark, he's in Ohio, and so Ohio is the birthplace of Superman, Cleveland, to be exact, where the two guys who created him came from. This Friday, I think, they're unveiling a new statue that has Superman and the creators in Lois Lane down there.
Wow.
And then also in Cincinnati, the other end of Ohio, at the bottom, is where the Justice Gang's headquarters is. And that is...
Yeah, yeah.
It's Union Terminal, or it used to be a train terminal. It is now a museum. And I think there's also a theater in there, so you could have technically gone to see Superman at the Justice
Interesting.
Hall of Justice. And then Hanna-Barbera used that for the Super Friends, and they're...
Well, it clearly is being used in this one too. So I mean,
Yeah, so I'm glad that they acknowledged it. They didn't have to shoot any of this in Cleveland or Ohio or Cincinnati, so that's Gunn kind of tipping his hat to the source material.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next subject for the summer blockbuster season, right? The Fantastic Four by Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Marvel Disney. I just happened to see it this past. I think we all just. Yeah,
I saw it this weekend, and I saw Superman again yesterday. So yeah, it was kind of they're all fresh in my mind.
How's that second one? How did that hit you?
Viewing.
Any better? The second viewing of Superman, did that do anything extra for you?
Yeah, it did, because it I guess this is the way I would sum it up. The things I liked about it, I really liked and I enjoyed more. What I didn't like about it, I had more time to process, and I can say, oh, what don't I really like about that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was able to analyze it a lot better and look and enjoy certain things about it. So Superman is definitely worth more than one viewing, just of all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, these are both on my list to give them a second shot while they're in the theaters still.
Interesting.
That's kind of how I feel about Fantastic Four, what Mark's saying, because it didn't hit me as much as Superman kind of hit me as an enjoyment factor. I don't know what it is. I was really looking forward to Fantastic Four. It's like I really enjoy the comics. I enjoy them on the Slurpee cup when I was a kid.
Sure.
It was one of my. I always enjoyed those characters, and I don't know. I love the way it looks. I love the retro, stylish, futuristic retro thing going.
It's different.
I'm still trying to figure out what didn't click for me. I don't know.
It's a different gear. It feels like it's a different gear than Superman is. I liked it. Sacrilege to say Galactus and the Silver Surfer are my least favorite Fantastic Four stories.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And perhaps because I was not of the right age when it came out and reading it, and when it was fresh and new, I don't understand the love for the Silver Surfer. I don't get it. So, other than he's a super visually interesting character,
right?
Aside from that, it's just he surfs through the stars.
He's a little bit of a sad space boy.
Yeah, sad space boy, right? But I thoroughly like the retro futuristic nod that they gave it. That was a very Kirby love letter to all that stuff and the way the lab looked. And I like that we started much like Superman in media res, where these characters already exist They're on the planet. I didn't have to
Right.
have their origin, but I kind of got one in kind of a television
Right.
flashback.
Superman does it with text. Fantastic Four
Four
with
did it.
the newsreel
Yes.
retro
Yeah, for the
flashback.
special, for the special they're getting ready to have. So, they focused on the right stuff with the focus was on the family aspect of it. There's like 20 minutes cut out of this movie.
That's the main point I wanted to bring up for me, and you can continue. But I think there's something on the cutting room floor that may have connected things better for me.
There's 20 minutes cut out of this movie. There's more with the Mole Man. There is a whole John Malkovich character that is cut out of this film.
The Red Ghost, isn't
The
it?
Red Ghosts, and he has super apes, and you did get to see a couple of the apes in the footage, but they cut all of that out.
And a lot with Natasha Lyonne's character too. I thought with Ben,
with her. And a lot of Ben. There was not as much Ben in this film as I would have liked. So,
they get Mark to jump in here.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm a little bit polar opposite of you guys. This is out of the two. This is the one that did it for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I love that Marvel took a chance, and it was very, speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy for me, because it was something different. It wasn't what we were only expecting. Although with the Thunderbolts, if you guys saw that, like I love that movie. That's one of my favorite Marvel movies now of all times. But
I want to see that. Yeah.
I liked that we got a world that wasn't burdened by the MCU. So it's like Reed Richards is the one that ushered in this utopia, so to speak. It's his genius that you got the bubble cars and all this other kind of stuff that, as if he existed in the 60s on our planet and it just went forward and there was nobody else. So, and of course we know it's Earth 81828, I think. So it's, it's not the 616 that everything takes place in, and whatever, that's a footnote, but I did enjoy it. I liked the back and forth. I liked that there was no dumb characters. I liked that they still gave Johnny his womanizing ways, but he's smart too. The one thing they said was all four of them are scientists.
Right.
They weren't as cardboard cutout as Kirby made them back in the 60s. And that's not an attack on Kirby. That's just a product of the time. So the fact that they were all smart and could do stuff, and all four characters really, except for Reed, they all kind of have their moment in the sun. Reed is kind of peppered in throughout everybody's stuff because he's still Reed, but everybody kind of gets their moment. You know what I mean? So, and the fact that they gave Johnny the figuring out with the Silver Surfer, that was phenomenal. I like that. It wasn't just, let's go beat on somebody,
plot,
So
that connection I liked quite a bit. I did like the recontextualizing of Johnny saying, I'm not just stupid. I have something to contribute to this. He and Sue's characters were really kind of leveled up in this film, which I really enjoyed. She wasn't.
Sue's kind of the glue, right? Really, I thought.
I was not, I got to tell you the truth, I was not expecting, but I guess it's probably where they're going. I didn't expect the whole Franklin Richards thing. I knew she was pregnant, but I guess I didn't expect the whole birth and everything and the kid. Like, I didn't expect any of that. So I kind of went in cold.
A lot.
It's going to be a major thing.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Right?
And he's the MacGuffin moving forward.
Yeah. And it's too bad because we're not going to get, and one of the things that I feel is bad about Marvel now is that everybody's, they're just what do you call it? They're fatigued. So you're not going to get a buildup like you did to Thanos. Like you're going to get maybe one more TV series, and then you get Avengers Doomsday, and that's it. And you're supposed to love the hype, but you're not going to get a buildup for it. You're just not.
No,
you're just going to have that
movie.
movie.
You're not going to get that buildup. You're right. I think a Spider-Man movie comes out.
But he's not I don't know. He's on the fringes. That's still owned by Sony.
But
he doesn't get to do all that. They don't get to do end credits for us, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they'd have to do it for Sony. They don't. So there's just a whole debacle with that. And I'm like, whatever. I'm over it. But I did enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun to me. And
it was
man,
really
kudos. I was just talking to my wife about this. I hate the fact that there's these corporate guys that they think we as fans are not going to appreciate an 80 story tall dude wearing a helmet. You know,
right?
like in the
So
previous
we didn't
versions,
get
you
him
got to
in the
make him a
Rise of the Silver Surfer. He
yeah,
was
like you got to make him a fucking
shadow.
cloud. Yeah, it's like,
Right.
come on, man, just make him what he's supposed to be. Fans are going to be like, okay, cool, if you do it right. And this guy was definitely done right. Like there's a
First
threat there that I was like, oh,
that
how are they going to
first
beat that
time
guy?
You see him, and he's they're in his craft or whatever
Lair, right.
his lair, and they're so small in the foreground, and he's like a mountain in the background. And
Right.
So
I like that.
that was
When he was the kaiju, I didn't quite get into it as much. He looked cool, but it was like
I felt
just kind of lumbering through, and I don't know. There just wasn't a lot.
I think the
going on.
The 20th Century Fox Fantastic Four Silver Surfer movie is the reason why they switched to the way they did in this. That's my only explanation for it. Why they made it his wife. That's a comic drop there for you, Bob. You know what I mean? Because she follows the same origin.
The Shalabal.
Yeah, they follow the same origin that the male one. He's the one that saved his planet by becoming the Herald. So I'm assuming that this is it for the MCU. We're not going to get a male version of the Silver Surfer, which I'm okay with. If they never do it, I don't care. So
or could he be in a different universe?
Yeah, of course.
Could be.
They can always do that, but then why bother to build up this one? Like she's already got a pretty decent character and backstory, So flesh that out if she shows up in Doomsday. So, but I enjoyed it. I like the costumes. I love the car. That was fun.
Yeah, the car was great.
I love the interaction between Johnny and Ben.
Right.
That's always fun.
It got no play in my theater. I was surprised.
Damn.
I was like, it just those little quips. I was expecting a little in the crowd, and it just was like a depressed crowd. I don't know what the deal was, but
I don't know.
I really enjoyed that they were, like you were saying, Mark. They were, these people are smart. They're not just, oh, this guy went on their rocket ship because he's the kid brother of the girl I like, right? She knows what she's doing. They made an emphasis that Ben is the best pilot, and
best looking.
And when they went to space, I mean, as soon as they took off on that rocket, from that scene to them coming back was fantastic. No pun intended.
Yeah, that was a great sequence. You're right.
That whole sequence with
it
them
looked
getting
great.
there, and her surfing through lava and space debris and all this other stuff.
Looked cool. Yeah.
I guess
I don't know. Maybe it's just that third act just didn't do something for me. I guess because I was kind of following along. The beginning got you into it. You kind of settled in with the characters, and then they go into space and they have the baby, and then it kind of gets funky.
Once you drop a baby into any movie storyline, it's tough. It's tough in Superman. We had to save Metamorpho's green baby, and it was kind of like, and that was tough. And it's
that's comedic purposes played for that.
They become magic babies, and Franklin is a magic baby, so he's powered for a reason.
Well, it's unfortunate, and Bob, obviously, if you don't know the lore, Franklin Richards is the most powerful being in the Marvel universe. So there's all these rumors about what they're going to do for Doomsday, but it can't be a 6-hour movie. So I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully they decide to make it in 2 parts. Maybe I don't know. Like there's so much lore that they're going to throw at you that I feel that movie's going to fail because we're going to be like, what? Like there's just because he's so much. And the fact that so many people are in it, they're trying to recapture like in Endgame, like that you built up to in one movie. And like, oh my God.
They're very much in danger of doing what DC did and trying to hurry up, and let's do this. Let's build this thing. We're never going to get what we had in Phase 1 for Marvel ever again. That was just such a fluke that they decided to plan once it started getting momentum.
Right.
And everybody wants it. Everybody's chasing that, and they're never going to get it again.
But that's the problem. So I think Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts, once you see that, I'd like to hear your opinion on it, Bob. Like, they're very well written. They're good character pieces. So my wife just told me that, like, I guess Fantastic Four is the start of Phase 6. But if you look back in the phases, God, I hate even saying that phrase, everything ended on an Avengers movie.
Right.
So you got at least, I'd say 5, And then it ended with this Avengers movie, which you're like, okay, cool. And you're right, Jim. The first one, they'll never be able to duplicate it. But I don't think we get another Marvel movie until Doomsday. So who gives a shit? Where's the hype that we're supposed to be feeling? They're just going to tell us that you're supposed to be hyped about this. And that's where I think it's still going to fail. You know, they're so worried now about all this stuff that they're, like you said, Jim, they're just doing it now to rush things out there. I don't feel there's a cohesive plan in place. So,
you know, and part of Disney's, part of their albatross around their neck is that this is, other than being an entertainment product as a film, it also has to bleed over into, hey, look, the Fantastic Four are walking around in the parks now. You can meet Herbie. You can do, you know. And
Jim is always aware of that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well,
always aware of the peripheral effect.
Well, I mean, Jim, did you ever see? Have you seen Thunderbolts yet?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so Bob, for you, like Fantastic Four is tied directly to the Thunderbolts. There's
Don't spoil it.
Well, I mean, then go ahead and watch it, dude. Hurry up and get it and watch it.
I got it on. I'm going to watch it as soon as I can get my hands on it.
All right. Well, I'm just saying because, like, at least they're trying to do some of that stuff. You know what I mean? But
to do a linkage, right?
To do a linkage, yeah. So at least they're trying.
I heard about the post-credit scene,
and that's the only thing. That's it. That's the only thing that.
But you don't know who's in it.
No,
or where.
no. And fans have pointed out that it's a different ship than it looks like in the Fantastic Four.
Maybe Doom's in it with Franklin.
Who cares at this point? So
who cares?
You know,
folks, we got to Mark's
folks,
now.
we're gonna let's do this right now. So I don't have very high hopes for it. I hope I can come back in a year and I can publicly apologize and say that was one of the best things I've ever seen. Was I wrong? Wow, that's what I want to be able to say. Because right now,
know how you feel.
It's just a gimmick, man. All those people coming into it and stuff. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Do you think it's some kind of fake out where it's going to be like, oh, they change Doom's face to look like Tony Stark or something where they
No,
switch
I think they'll stick the landing with that he's from a different universe. He's from this universe, and that will be Robert Downey Jr., you know?
Because Franklin's like touching his face or something.
And Franklin directly in the comics, he directly leads into Secret Wars. So, you know, once we get that one,
which is after the Doomsday.
Yeah, which is, you know.
And also, folks looking at the internet, there's like this a very extended end credit AI that actually shows Robert Downey Jr. They don't. That's not part of the end credits.
Oh, yeah. Stop looking at that, folks.
Stop looking at AI.
Yeah. I saw that one too. I was like, well, what? I mean, it's kind of neat, but
nice job by somebody. But
yeah,
that scene did give me like a little chill. I was like, ooh, you know, because it was kind of a.
Well, here's
cool
one of the
thing.
things.
Sorry to interrupt, Jim, but if they were smart, then since they've already made this big announcement, and who knows when that movie was filmed, show his eyes. Right. The theater would erupt if you would have seen Robert Downey Jr.'s eyes. You don't get to show his face, but show it. They would have recognized it. Everybody would have clapped.
I read that was him on set.
Yeah, but like you don't like.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, but if this is the 1980s, we don't know that because we don't have the internet. So we just got to ooh and awe. We get what they tell us, and that's what bugs me about that stuff. Sorry, I like the Fantastic Four.
You're saying they didn't go all the way.
What's the secrecy? We already know who it's supposed to be.
Then we waited I waited through all the credits to get to the end. It was a little cartoon. And it just felt like a flat. The audience was like, okay, let's get going.
Well, that's the same way with Superman. Those end credit ones were just like, whatever. Like,
the buildings misaligned. Okay.
Yeah, like the days, like, although I do admit, at least thank you, Marvel, at least with the Fantastic Four, for putting in something and getting back to the old form of, it's leading to the next project. Because they've gotten out of that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, there's a time jump there.
They just give you tidbits, tidbits.
Right.
Oh.
So I gave this one a 3 crates out of 5.
I was about to do my crates too. I was about to say that.
Which is not terrible. It's just a half step down, half a crate down from Superman. It's just something didn't get me jazzed up about it, but I enjoyed it.
And that's why we do this. That's why we do this.
My daughter thought.
How about
it was
you?
mid.
Anyone next?
Well, I give it 4. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it hit all the beats for me, and because of the scared, timid corporate guys, I got to see Galactus the way he should be, and the Silver Surfer the way they should be. So awesome,
Yeah, Galactus actor was your Green Knight in your movie, The Green Knight.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. So his
He's
voice
also
was
in
awesome.
Nosferatu as well.
Oh,
So,
really? I didn't as a
I
human
think he's
being. I don't.
a
Oh, that's
doctor.
right. He
He's a
was in
doctor.
Nosferatu.
So,
Oh, okay. I just didn't
and
remember
you know,
him.
Shala, she was the Silver Surfer, was good in this. I
Yeah,
mean, her
yeah.
character was. I thought she
Ralph
looked good. She
Ineson and
sounded
Julia
good.
Garner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like not knowing who these people are. That's one thing that Steph had pointed
It
out. He
helps.
watches a lot of TV, so he sees a lot of people. You know, like I don't
Right.
know who Lois Lane was. I don't know who the Garner girl is. I don't know them because I don't watch the shows they're in. So I like going into these not knowing that. That helped
Bob,
me.
It helps.
Yeah.
I mean, I did know them from Ozark and
Right.
Miss Maisel.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Well, I knew her from The Wolfman.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But one of the things I will, this one I'll buy for certain.
Yeah, I will too.
I love all the Easter egg stuff that was in there. Of course, we saw Stan and Jack, quote unquote, you know.
Yep.
Looking out the window.
Yep. Talk about meta too, because there's a drawing of the Fantastic Four on their wall. So
right, because they exist in the, you know, well, that was one of the things that really
we don't have time for that, Jim.
No, but Fantastic Four was probably
we have issues.
Yes, Fantastic Four was probably one of the first comics that I read.
Yeah,
Marvel comics that I read, and
right.
they existed in our world, like much like this movie here.
Yes,
our world went
yeah.
ahead. They went ahead and acknowledged that they were
Right.
celebrities.
Yep.
In the comics.
Right.
And I like that
was
because
well
you
done.
have to assume that somebody approached the Baxter building or whatever it is, Future Foundation, and was like, how much is it going to cost to get the likenesses because these two guys want to do a comic book of you. Like that's what goes on in this world. So
Right.
that's
the kids
awesome.
were wearing Halloween costumes.
Yep.
You know.
Right.
And
Jim,
so it'll be 4 crates for me, easy. It'll be
Ooh, there you
fun.
go.
It'll be fun to get the DVD and look at all the Easter eggs and stuff that they planted in there.
Some of the bystanders on the street were the original 4 members of the
Yes.
doomed Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. They put them in there. Good for them.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, good for them.
You know,
I
whoever
love that Marvel acknowledges all.
Yeah, and I don't know who Matt Shankman is. Shackman. Yeah, I don't know his work. I don't think.
WandaVision.
Yeah, so I mean, the fact that if he had control over this, good for him because there's a lot of stuff that really did get inserted. It's a fun movie for me.
You can tell it's made with love, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I have to. You guys said about the what do you call it? The civilians, the people on the street, citizens.
Citizens. Yes.
They were both in both movies. They were just like, I'm like, these people are so dumb. It's like, get out of there. It's like these huge monsters are coming. They're all like taking pictures and stuff.
Well,
Are we all
it was supposed to be like they're used to
Fantastic
that,
Four is a little bit
funny.
more like it works a little bit better. You know, evacuate this. They actually acknowledge that if this dude walks down here, he's going to hit any building and stuff. But you're right. Those dudes standing with a kaiju with Superman, that's dumb. Those are dumb people.
Like,
right.
You know,
things are getting thrown around, buildings falling, and they're all
how many
like,
times has
"Get
this
a picture
happened
of
in
me."
your city, right? So, and I don't know.
You can't be that used to it.
Yeah, not
You're
with
just like-
Superman because it seems like this is the first conflict with Lex Luthor. So, like,
Right.
maybe saving kittens from a tree, but yeah, not a mass conflict. So maybe it registers where they're like, we've never seen this before. I'll take a picture. You know, but
I did think that
like
like
the lady underneath the car bothered me. Like, or not underneath the car, the lady underneath the building that he saves. Like all of a sudden her car doesn't work. You know, I'm like, okay, that's plot armor right there. Like, I'm like,
sure.
everybody else drove away but her. Oh my god, you know.
But he looks fantastic, slowly rising out of the smoke.
See, I don't. I know everybody talks about that. I don't buy that one either. That's the one with him turning with the S meant more to me than him rising out of the smoke.
Sure.
Like that just, you know, didn't do it and stuff.
Yeah.
Although I did feel when he said, I don't know why, dude, and I don't have pets, but when he said, I'm going to go turn myself in because probably where the dog is at, he's probably scared. I was like, yeah, that's
that
cool.
was some good.
Yeah, that was a good piece of dialogue between them. So I really enjoyed that.
You really got the feels from what he was emoting. Yeah, that was good.
All right.
And Lex,
All right, guys, we should probably wrap it up. That's it for the month of July, I guess, for blockbusters. I did see F1. I'd like to talk about that. If you guys ever see
Yeah,
that this summer, I recommend that highly.
So did Stefan. He said it's one of the best films he's ever seen. So I really want to get to see it.
Yeah, you should see it. I'd love to hear,
especially on the big screen. That's what I was told.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, a lot of coolness.
So,
I saw Jurassic World.
Nope.
Jim saw Jurassic World.
Nope.
Maybe we can.
I won't be seeing that.
Chat about that sometime.
You guys.
I'm sure we have a lot to say about the new Avatar trailer.
Oh God!
I knew Mark would react.
Oh my God!
I was like, "What?"
Yeah, dude. I didn't realize sometimes you got the thought balloons, and then my mouth speaks for me. So when it came up, I literally was like, I said something really loud in the theater. I was like, "Ooh, I better be quiet." I didn't realize I said that. You know,
I'm like, "What the hell? Another one?"
No, I knew there were other ones coming out, but I'm just like, it's just, you know.
I'm supposed to know these characters, and I'm like, I have no.
Dude, there's another one after this coming. Yeah. So
he's making a whole.
Well, yeah, it's like
the rest of his career.
It's water, fire, and then air or something like. I mean, something like that. Yeah. So he's doing all the elements. I heard.
Well, there you have it. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you next time. Please, I know you know where we're at. Please join us on social media, on our Instagram or Facebook page. We'd love to join the conversation and have you interact with us and see what you have to say about what we said.
I do want to drop that.
The two comic guys and the normie.
God, you and that normie, that sounds so funny to me, man. I'm over here dying every time you say that. He's a normie, folks. He's a normie. That's so funny to me. I do want to give a shout out though, because I think we're gonna do we have issues where we'll go in depth with Superman and the comic stuff, and we'll talk more of the lore and things like that and stuff. So
thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll get something going for some new exciting adventure. So with that, we'll leave you with the Fandom Outpost. I'm Bob.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mark. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. I like that.